Hey kids, welcome to Lesson 1, Buttons and Events, Part 2, Lesson 3. Design Mode, Add a Label. Well, now that we have the beginnings of a little game, time to go back to Design Mode to start embellishing our program. You try it. Add a text label that says, "Try to catch the button." Switch back to Design Mode. Drag a label onto the screen. The label looks like this icon here. Looks like it's located on the design right underneath the button. Set the button to say something like, "Try to catch the button." Set any properties or styles to the text label that you want. Down here, it looks like we have our code from the previous lesson. So it goes to a random number and a random size. Over here, we are going to go to our design and we are going to add a label. So let's go ahead and add a label up here. I first need to move it out of the way and drag my text up to here. The text they want you to add says, "Try to catch the button," though you can add whatever you like. Feel free to be as creative as you want. I'm just going to follow the instructions here. Well, where do we put the text in? Clicking there does not work. I have to look down here in my little box. And here you can see text, same thing up there. Try to catch the button. Oop, gotta spell that right though. There we go. I'm gonna move this over so we have it a little centered here. I'm going to go down, look at some of my other little features. My box, looks like it's getting a little squished here. I can just drag this up so it is a bigger box. I can shrink it down if I like, if I want it on 2. I could do either or. I'm just going to shrink it like that. Move this over here. Down here, I have a width and a height. I have my positions, X and Y, and I have some colors. Let's first do the color. I think I want a background color on this. Let's do a little school spirit here, shall we, kids? Let's go to a purple. Let's click on that. I like that. Text, color, font color. You should really usually stick to the 2 basics, white and black. While you're certainly welcome to be creative, sometimes it gets hard to read after that. Though you could do school colors and do a yellow on there. I think for myself, I'm going to stick to white. White is all the colors mixed together, so we just add a bunch of Fs, and there we go. Font size. I can increase this if I want. 16 font, I like that. It looks a little bigger. Let's go ahead and take a look at how big this label is down here. We can do that in our design tab. That is 203. If I divide 203 in half, I get 101.5. Let's subtract the half the screen, 170, by 101.5. That gives us 68.5. Remember, the origin is this top part right here. If I go back over to my code, I can type, or I can move this over to that position. I can actually put that number down here in our X position. Look how close we were, 65. Let's put 68.5 in there. It looks like it's not accepting half. So we can just put it 68. That's pretty close. I think we can go off 0.5 here. And we have our label perfectly positioned. Let's go back to our code. One thing we have to worry about here now, though, is we don't want our buttons to overlap each other. And if you remember, we have a random number here. And this goes from 0 all the way down to 435. So the box doesn't completely come off. If we go down here, we can see maybe Y60 is a pretty good number. So let's go ahead and just make sure our 60 is our minimum number we put here. So when I hit run, and reset, I should be able to, look, it's going all around. If I really wanted to, I can have this button start off in the middle every time. How do I do that? Well, I go to Design. I can click on my button here. It'll bring me to my properties. From my last lesson, I know my X and Y positions already, and those numbers were 92.5 for my X and 210 for my Y. And that puts me right in the center of the screen. Now, when I click Run, my box will always start in the center. It should never, ever go completely off the screen. And on top of that, it should never go on top of my label. That, to me, is the start of a pretty good program here. I don't really need to worry about anything else. I think I'm pretty happy with everything. I believe this is all code.org wanted. Let's go ahead and hit finish. Good job, kids. I will see you on the next lesson.